Rebecca Keetch and her family have worked in the auto industry for 4 generations, but with the threat of tariffs looming, her family legacy is on the line. She joins us now live from Oshawa. And Rebecca, how are you feeling about Trump's tariff pledge?
I'm feeling frustrated and tired, angry.
Yeah, I mean a short answer, but I think it sums up the way a lot of people are feeling, particularly people who work in the auto sector. Do you have a sense of if these tariffs go ahead, and we don't know what's going to actually happen, but do you have a sense of what impact that's going to have on you?
Well, the reports so far that I've heard in the media have been that if the tariffs go through, it's going to have a devastating impact on the auto industry in a short-term manner. And it depends on what the companies, the government, and the unions are able to do to mitigate those impacts as to what the long-term effects will be.
I see in the Super you're a production operator at General Motors. And I know I should point out you don't speak for the company, you don't speak for Unifor, you speak for yourself. But what do you do at the plant?
I inspect vehicles before they leave.
So you've worked for GM.
Make sure that we're shipping good quality, excellent quality vehicles.
Yeah. So you've worked for GM since 2006. Do you have, I'm sure you've seen ups and downs over time. Do you have any plans for what you're going to do if, in fact, these tariffs are 25% and they actually come into effect on April 2nd?
I plan to support my union in fighting for the jobs and fighting to keep the jobs. My understanding is that we have no intention of letting these jobs go. So I think there's a quote from Lana Payne just recently, and she said, "We've had an auto industry in Canada for 100 years, and we're going to have it for 100 more because we're going to defend it." She said, "With everything we have, it's our jobs, our plant, our communities, and our country. And we're fighting for all of it." And I think that really sums up the attitude of what we need to do if the tariffs come into effect.
Last hour, I spoke to the owner of a company that makes auto parts in Windsor and ships almost his entire output to the United States. And he was talking about just how frustrating it is for him as well. And he is angry and feels this is still completely avoidable. It's all due to Trump doing what Trump is doing. I'm curious about the conversations on the plant floor. What are you and your coworkers talking about these days?
I think people are really frustrated that this is happening. From our perspective, it's very unnecessary. We have trade agreements. We have mechanisms for dealing with trade disputes. And what's happening right now doesn't seem to really be about trade. It feels like President Trump has weaponized tariffs and that he's declared war and is trying to destabilize our economy. So it's very frustrating, and it's pulling workers in the plant together. I think you're seeing it's pulling Canadians together across the country.
If elected, Mark Carney has promised a $2 billion fund to help auto workers. I don't know how that's going to filter down to individual workers. I don't know if you've heard. How do you feel about that promise?
So I certainly haven't heard any details on it, and I believe what little I did hear was that it was for shoring up auto jobs and creating a built-in-Canada auto supply chain from resource extraction through to production and assembly. So on the face of it, I have to be pretty excited about a pledge like that. But of course, it's always in the details.
As I said, and I want to restate it now, you're not speaking on behalf of anybody other than yourself. And so let me ask you, as a longtime auto worker in Ontario, what would you like to see the federal government do?
I'd like to see the federal government support the unions that are involved with this. I'd like to see them invest in Canada and take this opportunity, because in every crisis there is an opportunity to make some real changes. Like, I know that we have to defend ourselves against Donald Trump, But at the same time, we need to be shoring up our resilience and becoming a stronger, we have so much opportunity in Canada. So built in Canada, by Canadian, use of government procurement policies to support Canadian industry, buy cars made in Canada. You know, there's great quality vehicles. We have a world-class automotive workforce. I mean, there is just about nothing that Canadians can't do, can't build. And I think the government needs to tap into that. So things like income supports, I was very, very excited to hear that the government was going to be increasing EI supports and accessibility. It's something that the Canadian Labour Congress, QP, and Unifor have all called for. But I was disappointed to hear it's temporary, because this is something that needs to be improved and made permanent.
It's really nice getting your perspective tonight, Rebecca. Thanks for connecting with us.
Thank you very much for sharing our stories.
Rebecca Keetch, GM worker in Oshawa.